restart and then do it again, right?
Oh, I can. There's another one I can do.
My wonderful team. We are live. So watch your mouths. Don't say anything that.
Can I do a random advantage? What can I get?
So yeah, okay. So we've stop buying stuff. There's a limited amount that we can do for stream. If just the people that are playing buy everything, it's gonna be sad. And clearly that one didn't work, so that's okay. I guess I'll have
that's what
to.
I was doing. I was testing it for you.
Yeah, but I didn't. No, you weren't testing it for me yet. You didn't know you were testing it for me.
For the second one.
Already cheesing it, breaking the system.
Yeah, seriously, quit breaking stuff, Court. All right, let's see if I can figure all this out. So yeah, we added some cool stuff into the stream. I don't know that it's working or not. We'll figure that out in a little bit. Or actually, I guess on initial looking, it is not working the way that I would intend it to. But I'm sure we'll figure it out as we go along. But it looks like two people have purchased things. One is for Clovis and one is for Spangle. So I will go ahead and mark them. Oh, maybe I have to mark them as complete first, and then it'll pop off. So let's try that. We're gonna do mark Spangle as complete and see if that does it.
Who purchased something?
Beatrice got some potions.
Please note, I didn't buy one for myself because
me.
I don't see you on here. Oh, there you are. I was looking
But
for
don't
Antoine, but
buy
you're not
anything.
Antoine. I'm not doing it. He will yell at me again.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
he
will.
will.
So yeah, there's supposed to be a nice little potion here, and I'll give a potion to Spangle, and I'll give a potion to who got the other one? Clovis.
I already had one though.
I know you'll have another one, and I'll figure out how to actually give it to you.
Bloop, bloop.
I guess I could do that now, but that wouldn't make for very fun. We'll do that while somebody is recapping what happened last episode on. So guys, thanks for being here. Thanks for being on time. That was my side eye to the OBS, where I'm looking at one person specifically who was right on time.
So it wasn't late, is what you're saying.
He wasn't late. It's binary, so you're either late or you're on time, and he was certainly on time. So thanks for being on time, everybody. Oh wait, Corbin's showed up and said it's Spangles. I don't think I did Corbin's. Did I do Corbin's?
I definitely
Clovis
apply a
did
bit
have
of a gradient to the whole on time thing.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? It adds a level of fun. All right, so it was supposed to be Clovis and Spangle. Spangle has one, and Clovis is potion. Clovis, where are you? I don't see yours, Clovis. So you don't get a potion. Oh, there it is. I found it.
Man.
Advantage Clovis. Potion.
It rubs the potion on its skin.
Oh, what the?
It rubs the potion on its skin, or else it gets the door again. Because the door is what causes you problems. Yeah, so we are back. This is episode number 3 of the Real House Elves of Newfoundland, and we are good to go. Who, for advantage, would like to give the full recap of last episode? And it has to live up to my standard of what the recap should be. It should cover all the things that I told my daughter that you guys did. Because I gave like the full, like I pulled up the book and I was like, then they went here and then they went here and then they talked to this person and they did it. And she was like, it sounds like maybe there was magic involved. And I was like, there was certainly magic involved. So yes, so much pressure on the recap. So anybody that's willing and able, go for it. Hit that recap action.
Last time on Real House Elves of Newfoundland, Season 1, our intrepid heroes had embarked on a quest from the town of Newfoundland to go and retrieve perhaps some magical items from that might help against dragons that had been waylaying the countryside. After the first false positive that turned out to be a manticore, they went to go look to Gnomengarde to perhaps find a magical item that could help fight dragons. But upon arriving at Gnomengarde, Gnomengarde had problems of their own. On top of not going in the front door, they went in the back door, and then they found themselves in almost a bit of a civil war as the kings were in a bit of a royal spat with each other, and I think one had kidnapped the other. And if I actually dug out my notes, I could tell you what their names were, but I'll have to figure out which notebook that was. And then
King Narxley and King Corbats.
All right.
Corbaz and Nerkly.
Nerkly. Corbaz.
The G is silent, as with all good gnome names.
Wouldn't that be names?
Exactly.
And so we we broke down the door into their bedroom, only to find it was empty, or that perhaps they turned invisible and slipped on past us. And then we chased somebody around to their throne room. We're not sure. And we were about to maybe be a bit more respectful with the doors of the throne room. And that's where we left off.
What about the hour and a half you spent in town? Like, do you feel like that was unimportant and wasn't really worthy of any recap?
Did you hear how there wasn't any recap of that portion?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question?
Oh, so you actually did cover all the important and exciting things that happened during that hour and a half.
We bought some arrows.
Oh,
we tried to buy some armor.
Mm-hmm.
We talked to a couple people that didn't really want to talk to us, and we pissed off someone by trying to almost not pay them.
Yeah.
We didn't. I didn't personally, but someone did.
Yes.
Not naming names.
There was a botched robbery.
Yeah.
It was Barthens.
That all tracks. Okay, so I will say that for the wonderful recap, for me not having to do anything in this recap, Spangle, you have been awarded, as you see in the top right-hand corner on the stream on your person, that is your advantage die. Da, 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 da.
Cool.
So cool. And let's see, everybody that did not participate gets disadvantage.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. You don't. That would be messed up. But check these out. Look, here's the disadvantage also on Spangle's thing. So there you go. You got a red die for disadvantage, blue die for advantage, because blue is better than red in this particular situation.
Even though red gives you health.
Shut up, Anthony.
Wow.
It's no, you're right. Red is also great. Red's my favorite color. Because I went with blue as my icon, I figured blue is the predominant color on all of the streams. So blue is good. So we're liking blue. So that's where we're at. I have, as I told you guys, I have figured out some of the intricacies of opening doors for good. If you guys do open some doors or have them in a state where you should be able to pass through them. So I should be able to figure that out on the fly. Not all doors that you've gone near have been currently unlocked. So not everything is there, but the throne room, or the bedroom one, you should be able to move freely through, I think. I'm sorry for those that are missing their music. I haven't figured out a good way to implement music that would not be disruptive to the rest of the stream, but I'll figure it out.
Just have the lyrics scroll across the screen.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking like if it was something, I don't know. I have a couple ideas that I'm kind of running. I can read it, Jake. I am not rude 24/7, but I am going to ignore you from here on out because I'm going to change over to a different screen where I don't see your texts. So that's how easy it is. All right. So you guys left off in the throne room. You were looking for whatever you're looking for. It's up to you what you're looking for, and I'd love to hear what it is that you're looking for. You can move about freely. If you come up to a door, if there's something that you would like to be checking out, I am your ears, eyes, nose, and feelings in this world.
Okay, so we wound up here last session. Did we look around here yet, or did we just get in here?
I think we pretty much just walked in. I walked over to the corner because
Okay.
I was hoping to look behind the actual thrones to see if I saw anything funky.
I'd like to carefully examine the throne for any clues of the whereabouts.
Sure. The stone, the thrones sit atop a stone dais, and they're two smaller stone thrones made of stone and scrap metal. They don't look particularly comfortable, but they're not like Game of Thrones level of uncomfortable. There, you don't notice anything at first glance wrong with them, or notice anything out of order with the actual stone dais or the throne.
Spangle Luxxi has been walking around backwards with the mirror. That was the only item she found in the cupboard. Not the cupboard, in the dressing drawers of the two kings. So, assuming that it must be some sort of a magical mirror, she's looking through the mirror at, well, one herself, but also the world around her, looking for clues through the mirror.
Yeah, you haven't noticed anything as you've been walking backwards. So you're pointing at, like, in front of you, walking backwards with what you see behind you as your main source of where you're going, right?
Yes.
All right. Can I get a dex check?
Oh, you're gonna trip.
I'm looking for my dice. No, it's not that.
You can go ahead and roll that in the and this is a backwards walking check. I can't think of a more appropriate thing to do just a straight dexterity check on, though. What are you typing? Oh, I think you have to.
So close.
Not that one?
Slash.
Yeah,
Slash?
if you do slash.
But, or you could just click on.
You can click on your,
dexterity on the character sheet.
You should have your character sheet. Everybody open your damn character sheet.
Well, then
It
they
takes up so
can't
much
see the
space,
screen.
I can't see my map.
How do you not have 4 monitors like a normal person?
Oh, wait, here we go. It pops out. Did you know that?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can pop it up.
Yeah, there's a pop-out version.
Look at that.
Can't even get it to go on a different screen.
All right. I
Oh,
popped it
so
out.
you pop it out, and then you can move it onto different screens, Court.
It won't let me.
What?
Oh wait, never mind.
As she figured out.
I think.
Or you could put it in the mirror.
Oh, there
Plug
it
the
goes.
mirror and look back. Do the.
Holy moly.
While Spangle's trying not to trip, I will.
You very deftly maneuver as you walk backwards, and let me get an insight check. Also, you are looking for things specifically.
I am, and I'm very. Elves are very dainty on their feet.
Absolutely.
Insight
or perception.
Seems good.
Let me get specifically perception, and that will determine something. Yeah, you actually, right where you are standing in this very moment, as you've been walking backwards, you actually notice there's a little bit of light coming through on the ground below where you are, and you hear muffled noises, like right where you're standing.
is on the ground where I am now.
On the exact square, the exact 5x5 square that is on the floor where you're standing currently.
Does it look like it's coming from somewhere?
It looks as though there's like the faint, well, yeah, there's the faintest like shifting of shadow, and you hear muffled like, but it sounds more gnomish than that. So I guess it's more like, because that's how gnomes sound.
Okay, I'd like to carefully examine the outer edge of the throne. This like double the throne, their rectangle thing going on here.
Yeah, you don't see anything out of whack with the thrones. As your previous check,
Okay.
it checks out.
Okay.
Is there like a hidden door in the wall?
That would be interesting, wouldn't it?
That'd be very interesting.
Why would you think that might be the case?
Yeah, none of us know what's going on.
Because if there's a weird light, guys, there's a weird light here.
Over on the floor, Luxxi?
Yeah, look at it over here. It's like shadows and stuff.
So I think that as you've been kind of like clicking around and walking and looking backwards, you actually find something, and you've heard it, and with your insight check, you've been able to identify that you believe that there might be something right behind. Sorry, hang with me for 1 second.
Oh my god.
What, door number 2?
No, I have to go to a different layer to move something. And I want to make sure that it actually moves the way that it's supposed to. All right. So this, I should be able to move this guy right here.
There's a lot of pinging happening.
You should be able to.
I'm like a submarine. I'm pinging.
Quit pinging. So you reveal something special, and you open up a secret door that goes, and you see a gnome who is gagged and glued to a chair.
Whoa. Glue.
Oh wow.
That sucks.
Glue.
Not
What color is the
tied or anything like
glue?
that.
Or it seems to be adhered to a chair. You don't know that it's glue, but you found glue in the previous room, so you guys put 2 and 2 together as the geniuses that you are, that he is indeed glued to some chair. But
Right, Spangle.
that is what you see. You opened up a door, and there seems to be a door that was a passageway that's leading towards maybe that room that you guys were just previously in.
I run over to Fibblestib and I'm saying, Fibblestib, look, there's someone over in this alcove.
And Fibblestib says, "Mine, that seems to be one of the kings. Please see what's going on over there. Is it young master Nerkly, or is it our king Korbaz? Which of the 2 kings is it?"
How would we know?
Well, they're so far away they can't see, and you guys are all clustered around in a corner, but they see that there's
I
a gnome.
moved out of the way.
Does he have a gag or something in him?
He does. He is indeed gagged. So Fibblestib charges past you guys, and it says, "Oh, Sir Korbaz, what happened?" And he says, "Oh, of course," and he comically rips the gag out of his mouth. I was held hostage by King Nerkly. He's been muttering about something that's gone and killed 2 other gnomes in our home. Has anybody seen these gnomes that have gone missing, or has he just lost his mind?" And he kind of like bounces with his chair between the 2 spaces. He's kind of like trying to get free. His arms are bound behind it as well.
For goodness sake, I think we should cut him free.
Can anybody please get him off of this chair? He seems stuck. And Fibblestib moves out of the way, drags Korbaz into the room so you guys can actually be around him. In question, any questions that you have for King Korbaz are open and available. They're a free game to go ask.
Would you like us to untie you?
Yes, absolutely. That would be wonderful.
Where did King Nerkly go?
I don't know. He dragged me into this room as soon as you started questioning him, and then he left, and he hasn't returned. He didn't tell me that he'd be back, and he didn't tell me where he was going. Do you think he went out for cigarettes? Oh gosh, I hope he's coming back.
Did he run through that other side?
Yes. As soon as you guys started opening the door, he dragged me into here and then ran right away.
Oh, shoot. I run through this passage.
Okay, and I work on removing this one as well, slowly. And that should let you go through.
Did we untie him yet?
Yeah, you were working on untying him. His hands are free, but he's still stuck to the chair.
Oh yeah, he's magicked.
No, he is glued.
He's glued. It's glue. It's
That's not magic.
It's just glue.
Does anyone have any universal solvent?
I mean, they're tinkering gnomes. You would think one of them might have something.
Fibblestib and Dabbledob are definitely like brainstorming. How could we get this solvent off without ripping his royal garments? Because that would be a travesty.
There's no one over here. I come back into the other room. He's gone.
Korbaz mentions, well, he didn't go that way when he left. He came through the throne room. Obviously, you were in that other room when he left.
It's fair. Do you have any idea where he could have run off to?
He came into here?
Yeah, they snuck through. It's a secret door.
Is there another secret door in this room?
No, but I assume that you guys all just followed the normal hallway to get over here. Maybe?
We did. We didn't see anyone.
Were you all in the other room? In our bedroom? Looking for me?
Yeah.
Holding
Yeah.
the door from the other side? To ensure that nobody would leave the room? I could overhear some of the stuff you were talking about, but not all of it. So feel free to fill in the blanks if I'm missing anything.
Wait a minute.
I
Are
know
you holding the door?
I could paint you another word picture. It seemed as though you were all... we could kind of backtrack, but Clovis, if I remember from how I could hear, you seemed to be about... Well, I'll move you so you know exactly where you were. You were around here on this side of the door.
I remember.
Everyone else was here, and just listen to my voice. I believe what my husband did was probably, if I can select one of these items, was that he dragged me into this room and then staged here for a moment while you all moved into our bedroom and then went out this way and then dragged him, or ran himself over here, and it sounded like he was dragging some kind of stuff that would maybe block the door for a moment, just a moment, and stopped here on the other side of the door that is opaque and jammed something against it and then ran off. And maybe he was going to come back to me, but you guys dealt with whatever the issue, the impediment was so quickly that he must have ran off and hid somewhere else, fearing that you were indeed these things that have been killing gnomes. Probably plausible. And
it's all coming back now.
Ah, yes.
It makes so much sense.
I did keep
that.
hearing you say that you think you let somebody out, but I was very confused by that.
It's the multiple entrances to one room.
Yes.
We halflings don't have that. It's one way in, one way out.
As it should be in a hobbit hole, halfling hole. I know hobbit that's offensive, isn't it? I'm very sorry.
It is offensive. It's so offensive.
Well,
Tolkien did us wrong.
So you're Tolkien offense?
Tolkien offense.
He's here all week, folks. So please find my husband and bring him back safely, but also make sure that he is not dealt with in the manner of whatever has been dealing with other gnomes. He's been, as I said, frightened that we would be killed, and he only kidnapped me to keep me safe from whatever has been killing the other gnomes.
Is it just that he's been frightened, or do you think he's been acting like weird lately?
Yeah, does he seem like himself?
I mean, we're gnomes. It's definitely, it tracks. We're weird, and that's okay. We're just different.
Is there another hiding place he would go if in your castle?
I don't know of many places that no one knows of besides our one secret passage that has now been told to everyone.
You should probably fix that.
Probably.
So,
not a bad idea.
Where do you like to go when you want to feel safe?
In our bedroom, which you guys have broken the door that you came in through.
If we didn't break the lock.
No, you're right. You opened it with an unseen servant. That was awesome.
How did you know that?
Because
it's right there.
I mean, it seemed like magic.
Oh, I'll need to work on my spell casting.
I have a friend told me that's a thing that people do.
Unseen servant, apparently.
Corbin, and Beatrice, we should see if you can see any tracks out in the hallway.
Sure.
Yeah, so if you're gonna go ahead and do maybe a survival check right where you are, Corbin.
Okay. Pull up my sheet.
No, leave it open. Damn.
Okay, I clicked it.
I've only got 2 monitors. I can't have that open and have Twitch up and this.
Okay, so you're
I can.
without and you don't have advantage. So
Nope.
you You saw as you were coming out that there did seem to be like, now that you're looking for it and you know you've got a pretty good idea of the path that they took out of there, you do notice that there was some like over in this area that there was some dust that had been kind of like unsettled, because you don't expect that they used this passage too often, but you don't see anything. The trail goes cold right around here.
First step, that's it, that's all we get.
Right. Well,
Okay.
you rolled a
So we
7.
just-
I'm not.
We have to look around.
Well, Beatrice can check too, right?
She can take one check as well. Yes.
For survival.
Yeah. Give me a survival check.
Woo, it's a little better.
The 12, it gets you right around to the door. So you've made it.
Better than nothing.
No, you're tracking a gnome in his own
he's
kingdom.
left.
Yeah, he left this room. That's what you are sure of.
Well, I think he probably didn't go back up to the sleeping gnomes. Let's see if he went further down into the. Where does this passage take us?
I take it that goes. Is this down or? Well, do you want to check
So-
this doorway here or
Yeah.
Let's check this door.
Should knock.
We should knock and try to open it before we do anything. I've learned
Right.
that.
Should knock and wait for a response.
There might be more sleeping gnomes in there.
Spangle Luxxi, what came through the bedroom, and just coming back down the hallway, we went up to the bedroom, walking backwards with the mirror, of course, because that stratagem really seemed to work for her. Seeing if, maybe retracing the step backwards might lead you to him, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good call. I like it. Thank you, Hava. I got cookies. I don't know if you guys look at
I
that.
have a.
Got
oh,
cookies
cool.
and milk and cookies.
Whoa, it's like Santa Claus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hava's like Santa Claus. Best day ever. So you are as you are tracking backwards and looking in the mirror, which is just funny to me. You notice that you do notice that there seems to just kind of, you intuit that the path that was followed there, it does seem to be, it makes sense. And you get to the point where you're standing right here and you wonder, like, huh,
Right where?
I guess I could have gone, if I was a gnome, I could have gone south, or I could have run away. And you see that the door that you were just standing at here, where you were just a moment ago, where you were right here when you had this epiphany, was upon further inspection. Spangle's the one that's there, Corbin. If you give me an insight check.
Boop.
Insight.
That's a good one.
Check.
There you go.
That's a good one.
So you see, with beyond a shadow of a doubt in your mind, that this door was indeed opened and shut, and recently. Like you posit with beyond a shadow of a doubt that there's like a dust kind of like tracking on the ground where this door swung, and it opened and somebody's gone through it recently, in the same way that you saw dust that had kind of been pushed aside from the secret passage above.
It's a good thing these gnomes don't sweep their caves out.
It
My
is-
goodness.
They don't dust.
Filled with dust and detritus like everywhere. It's gross. They really need a maid.
It's like having a dog. Ugh.
It might be
She'll
worse.
reach around behind her to get the door.
Right, walking backwards.
All right, so I will move this door for you to open. No, not with that. I don't want to do that. Control Z.
Breaking stuff.
Yeah, pretty much. I need to.
There's the door.
No, you shouldn't be able to move through it yet. But in
You're
the
right.
What's going up there? What's going on, guys, up there?
moment,
All right.
Should we head up that way?
the DM is trying to figure something out.
You figured it
Solving
out.
mysteries.
I'm curious.
No, it's like stuck to it some way, shape, or form. I don't understand it. All the other ones I've been able to move, but this one seems stuck. Okay, well, you can move through that door.
Nice.
So I'm at the top of the workshop now, right?
You are indeed at the top of the workshop. And with your wonderful insight check before, you see that there seems to have been there are paths that kind of intersect, and you had Dabbledob and Fibblestibs kind of like pathing back and forth. They're going over, what's the best way to handle our kings and help them, but you see that it seems like somebody tried to do like a tricky thing where they jumped down, or they either didn't know what to do and were confused, or they were trying to throw people off their scent. And there's the track stops right where you're standing, and you see in this area, I'm gonna ping. This is where the back and forth of Fibblestib and Dabbledob went, and then there's another like circle that they kind of ran right down here, and you see what looks like a running jump that somebody took from right there to land not in the first spot, but into the center where there was back and forth and kind of walking around. So he jumps from where you were into this kind of like place where his track becomes unseen. But for sure, somebody jumped recently from up there into this room, without a doubt.
You guys, I think King Nerkly came running and jumped down there. And if I'm aiming straight away, maybe he went back to the room with all the sleeping gnomes.
Let's go.
Maybe we should check it out.
Unfortunately, they're sound asleep.
Someone did put them to sleep.
They're super asleep.
One of them's in a coma.
One of them's never waking up.
I rocked them to sleep.
No, you didn't. Okay. Yeah, I'll follow behind Corbin.
I'd like to quietly and politely enter the room and
they are all unconscious, never to wake up.
Not all
alert
of them
of our presence in a polite, normal way.
Yeah. Okay. So you're announcing your entrance for once.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's really kind of you. I can't believe it. It's actually shocking to me. So the few that were not affected by the sleep spell that you dropped in there, I think that kind of all originated over in this area by Karamip, and let's say that it hit like the ones that are in the top, in the top 4, but the lower 4, they're a-okay. You can wake them up with normal means. And over there you've got I'm on the wrong layer. That's why I can't move them. You've got Zook, Nyx, sorry, I'll ping them. You've got Nyx, Zook, Palabar, and Quippy.
Are they wearing name tags?
You can't put tags. Oh,
their names are on their bedside posts.
Okay, yeah. That's fair.
They're like the 3 little bears. So Nyx, Zook, Quippy, and Palabar. The others are fast asleep, thanks to a magical aid.
Wake up again.
Coma spell. So I will ask Nyx so they're awake right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will ask Nyx. Hello, Nyx. Have you seen your king or something maybe scurry through here recently?
Why, no. We've been trying to get back to sleep, and some of us have been very concerned that Karen may never wake up.
She'll be all right.
She'll wake up. Don't worry.
In a couple days.
I hope that to be true.
She'll wake up well rested.
I sure hope so. I hope it's not like one of those Tylenol PM sleeps that you wake up the next day and you really don't feel that good. Actually, it's more of a NyQuil thing. You know what I'm talking about.
Fourth wall.
And he winks at you. So he says he has not seen anything come through this area.
How certain is he?
Well, I mean, the 4 of us have been awake and kind of really concerned about Karamip. I think we would have noticed something.
Okay. Well, thanks, Nyx. I think we should check the other hallway then.
Yeah, time to go back.
Spangle Luxxi walks backwards, kind of like mindlessly through the people, carefully retracing your steps to the entrance we came. See, now we've come full circle.
Can I get a dex check where you are standing?
Oh, you're about to fall off the ledge.
Oh, heck. Here we go.
I'm going to make sure Lex doesn't hurt herself.
Your sure-footedness keeps you on the edge of the ledge, and you're good.
Edge of the ledge.
That's why I always paint my toenails with like glitter. So that way I always have sparkle toes.
Sparkle toes.
It's a wise thing to do. If you don't have sparkle toes, what are you doing?
Oh, twinkle toes. It's the same thing.
So do you twinkle toe back from the edge of the ledge? Corbin is running away.
Well, I'm going
here.
to inspect the ledge and see if maybe King Nerkly has maybe come running through here.
All right. So upon your inspection, and I'll say that your 20 or whatever it was, that was an awesome roll for your 20 insight is gonna. This will be the end of that one. You can with beyond any question say that you only notice 5 sets of footprints that made it up this wall or came over this far to this ledge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay.
Yep, just the 5 of you. You posit that it is the 5 from your party that you are currently adventuring with.
Well,
Wait, did I count myself?
Yes.
1.
But you can never be too sure, so double checking always a good idea.
Where did Corbin run off to?
Corbin,
I'm right here.
Off on his own.
I'm just through this hallway. I'm politely waiting for the rest of the group.
Okay, then I'll go to where you are. Oh, I see you. Okay. Then I'm behind you.
Excuse me.
Can file into this room and then we'll
Yeah,
examine it.
may as well.
So, Corbin, you
Are
walk
they
into a room
turbines?
and you see 2 humongous spinning blades that are spinning very, 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 very fast. Not fast enough that you could like, I'm gonna dodge them. I'm gonna jump in there, or it doesn't seem like you could. You could certainly try. But there are 2 spinning blades that are just kind of zizzing around.
I'll look around to see if there's anything that we can do to turn them off.
In your infinite wisdom, my old brother, you happen to see on this side of the room, surprisingly, a lever that does indeed look like borderline like it has a sign that says "pull me" on top of it. So there is a lever right next to on this wall that looks like maybe it has something to do with this wonderful trap in here.
I'm gonna pull the lever.
You pull the lever, and the spinning blades come to a slow, and they slow down over about a minute time. Like they kind of ramp down, and they stall and stop for about a minute, and then they start to kind of whir back up and start spinning. And after that minute, the lever chink, right back up into its previous position. So it seems like it's on like a timer.
Okay. So is it safe to pass when they're at their minimum?
Are you asking me?
Does it look safe?
Does it seem feasible to pass through group to try to run for it when they're at their minimum?
Stop when they come they definitely seem to stop.
They come to a complete stop.
And,
Okay.
Yeah, and they look as they are on the actual map for that time frame.
Okay. So when you pull the lever this time, I'm gonna run through when they're stopped. And
You know what?
whoever
I'm
else
gonna
wants to come.
go and ask if we can get Fibblestip or his friend if they could stand by the lever in case we need to have them stop it again.
It's interesting.
I want to do that. That's what I do.
Good thinking. You're a thinker.
I'm gonna go and ask them.
Well, which one are you gonna ask? Dabbledob or Fibblestib? It's
I'm
important.
gonna ask. Yeah, hold on a sec. I think one of us likes us way more. I'm going to ask Dabbledob.
All right.
Do I need to walk over to him or just holler for him?
You holler over to Dabbledob, and he comes bounding down. Doo-doo-doo. Oh, interesting that you've asked me, the one that seemed to not like you. No, I'm just kidding. We all like you. You're doing a good job. He walks into the room with you and he says, "Ah, yes, the spinning blades. Good thing you didn't touch them while they were spinning. That would have been the real IQ test. Doors are one thing. This would have been a whole other thing." So he says, "Ah, yes, this lever here, we typically use our magics to turn it off from the other side if you're approaching. But if you're going this way, it's easy peasy. Just use a hand. Anyone can do it, not only a mage." So he pulls the lever down, and you observe the same kind of behavior. They come to a slow. They stop for a minute at this point, and you are free to walk past them. And you've been given a little bit of knowledge of how maybe a person could cross coming from the other side without taking any or much damage.
Well, that invisible thing, the servant would do it. So we'll use that if we have to go back.
Right, there's a little hand thingy.
Mage hand doesn't.
So
reach.
this thing's a bridge, right?
Yeah, I think mage hand reaches.
I thought it was 30 feet. Whatever.
Yeah.
This yellow deal's a bridge,
1,
right?
2, 3, 4.
Yeah, it looks like it.
It's about, it reaches. It almost does.
That reaches.
If you want to say it does, that's fine.
30. Yeah, it basically, you know.
Ow!
I would have given it to you in this spot. Yeah, close enough.
Oh, okay.
So you,
Oh, goodness, a bridge.
yes, this is the bridge that you saw as you were coming in, from the city proper. If you would have gone through the front door in the normal side of the city.
I'm
I
gonna
didn't
make
want to
sure.
get wet.
It's tough to read essentially backwards. So that's been
I'd
fun.
like to examine the bridge to make sure it's stable and sturdy for our party to cross,
I
because we're
think
a little
the
bigger
lightest
than.
people should go first.
Sure. So the bridge is rickety, but it's a rope bridge. So it's rickety in the sense that like it's wobbly. It does seem firmly attached to both sides. And Fibblestib or Dabbledob yells across the now spinning blades, and you can kind of hear him say, "It should be totally safe." That's my buffeted voice. Like you can hear that's through the winds. Like
I'm gonna start crossing first to make, since I'm a small dwarf, I'm gonna make sure it's cool.
Sure. Yeah.
It looks pretty good.
Yeah, everything's fine. You're able to cross over the bridge with no problems with the single dwarf that went across.
So I cross with Corbin.
Absolutely. Yep. A halfling crosses, no problems.
All right, I'll start making my way across.
Yep. Elves are nice and small. Crosses over, no problems.
Don't make me fall. I'm gonna go next.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we're fine.
One square at a
I
time.
hate
Go back
you.
one. Go back one.
You suck. That one.
You no. Go back. Go back.
No.
From here.
You're gonna fall.
Can I have an insight check?
Insight. Yeah, sure.
You're gonna roll a 1.
I'm gonna.
Or
Miss them.
perception? Give me a perception
So-
check.
Alright. Boop.
You take in a beautiful view, and it's really gorgeous and amazing. You see the mushrooms below.
The mist.
The mist is popping up from the end of the. Why is there an X on you now? Don't do that.
No, that's not good.
Somebody did. I didn't do that. And all seems really quite serene. And you can only see that because Spangle is giving off a bunch of light, and you see perfectly fine. Because this is the darkest place in this whole entire complex, is when you are outside of the cave. All your caves are lit with torches and lanterns and whatnot. This area is shrouded in darkness from the sun. So it's just kind of like an alcove in like the entrance to a cave, essentially. So you can't see any of this, but it's kind of cool because you're human and you can see here at night because of Spangle.
See in the dark.
Yes.
Beautiful view. Gotta get off the bridge.
Yeah, get off the bridge.
Nervous.
It's really, really dangerous. And Spangle, you can cross with no problems either. I appreciate that you guys all took your turns across the bridge one at a time. But
Better be
Dabbledob,
safe than sorry.
We're polite.
Dabbledob again yells from a distance. Really, it's totally safe. You don't have to. It's just a bridge.
Well, Luxxi's walking
Safer
backwards.
across one at a time.
Yeah.
This is still true. Yes.
Luxxi's
Lexi's still going backwards.
Yeah. Continuing
Okay.
backwards.
Backflipping behind.
All right. I'm gonna lead us along this route here
I'm gonna
first and
say
see,
hi to these two.
Yes.
see what these two dudes are doing.
Yeah, we walk up here.
Wait, are you're yelling down from up above?
Yes. Excuse me.
So you yell down, and as you're coming across, you hear in Gnomish somebody say, "Habagin,
Working on your sim.
Anyone speak Gnomish?
No.
Nope.
Fibblestib and Dabbledob have sent us. We're looking for your king, King Narkly.
Habagin."
And I respond back with,
Nope, don't offend them.
Not again.
You hear muttering again because this is super racist. That's not how gnomes speak. It's how they sound. You're just making a sound.
I'm just copying, mimicking.
Yeah, that's really, you know what? It's not important. I
could do a performance check. See how close.
So they're like, they're kind of like talking back and forth with each other, and then finally one of them says, "Who goes there?"
It's us. I'm Clovis Bookstring. I'm looking for your king. We've been sent to help from Fibblestib and Dabbledob.
They can't.
Corbaz.
They can't see you, but they're not buying it. You don't hear an instant response of like, "Oh, okay, then go ahead." So you hear more muttering kind of back and forth. Excuse me.
How high up is this ledge?
It's
over.
It's just 10 feet.
I think we can walk around. I think I see a path that might wind up.
Do I see any clues on the ground?
Oh, I'm sorry. You guys. I'm an idiot. You guys are below. Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Oh.
My B. Looking at the rest of the ring road, I'm like, oh wait, no, that doesn't make sense. So they're looking down on you, and they are very much like they're looking as imposing as they can, as their gnomish selves can, and they still had their interchange of weirdness when you tried to speak gnomish to them, and they're like, no, none shall pass. This is we are to hold our ground and not allowed it. We don't even know how you got to the other side there. This is very confusing to us. And they one of them pulls out let me see what they pull out. Sorry.
This is a PG-13 show.
Nope, not like that. So
surprise.
The one on the right lets loose a. See, he starts kind of waggling his fingers. Yeah, no, it's a noxious fume. No, he shoots what seems to be some kind of bolts of magic towards the first person that came in the room, and that was Corbin. Okay, so you take 3 1 2 3. You take where's the spells? You get hit with 1 2 3. You take 9 damage as 3 bolts of white light pelt against you.
Well, I run. I'm like, wait! Palabar and Carolowip said that we're friends.
Stop saying racist stuff, man.
So go ahead and give me. What are you trying to accomplish?
Stopping them right now. Right now, I'm just saying, stop! Palabar and Carolowip sent us. We're friends with them.
Okay, so you're trying to persuade them that you are indeed supposed to hear. So give me a persuasion check. And they hold themselves, and at the mention of the names that you gave, they stop themselves and they say, "Oh, we're very sorry. We were told to just attack anything that might be some kind of a shape changer on site, and the fact that we had never seen you and you all looked so odd, it didn't seem like it was okay to let that one go past and come up towards our guard station. Do you have any proof that says that you were sent by the king or by Fibblestib or Dabbledob?"
Yeah. I hold up. I cast minor illusion, and I hold up a little scroll that's like, helping to find King Nerkly.
What spell is it that you're casting?
Minor illusion.
Is that a cantrip or a level 1 spell or what?
It's a cantrip.
It's a cantrip.
Oh, okay.
I threw it up there if you need to see it.
Sure. No, I'm just kind of glancing at it. Okay, so there's a DC that.
Yeah, they have to save against my DC.
Okay. I get to bring out my dice.
Nice.
What's your DC?
Yeah, 13.
Wait a minute, you get real dice?
I do.
Yeah, so we don't see what he rolls.
So he can mine.
Yeah.
So the first one who shot the missiles, the magic missiles, he's like, "Oh, this checks out," and the other one says, "I don't think so. This seems augmented in some way. I'm not quite sure."
I put it away I crumple it up, put it away really fast. I'm like, no, it's real. I
think you threw it up to him.
Yeah, you gave it to them.
I didn't throw it up. I held it up like this.
Held it up.
Oh, okay.
I held it up like this and then put it back.
Oh, okay.
We'll go back to the tape on that one because I heard threw it up there. Anyway, so one of them sees through your ruse and does not feel like you've been giving an appropriate amount of information. So can I have they demand, I demand to speak to is someone in charge, so you must go grab either Fibblestib or Dabbledob and bring them back here to vouch for you.
I say from facing backwards, looking at him through the mirror, you guys, if we were doppelgamers, don't you think we'd come in looking like gnomes? Oh my god, you guys.
Go ahead and give me a deception check.
I'm going to give
deception. I'm not deceiving them.
Too bad.
Right? You're persuading.
I'm going to give them.
If you want it to be persuasion, that's fine.
I'm going to cast. I'm going to give Bardic Inspiration, so he gets a +6. You can roll a 6 to that.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. How do I activate? So I just add +6 to whatever.
You have to roll. You have to roll a 6 to it.
It might be okay, but it's up to.
But what I am going to do.
That's fine.
Can I use my? I had the like a D20 inspiration. Can I use that now? Now that I see I got like such an amazing second roll.
Yeah, you ought to, if you're taking the 24, that means you rolled a 20, and you have 4 on top of it, and that's a very good persuasion. So Ola, the one on the left says, very good point. A shapeshifter would indeed take one of our forms. It would make more sense. Traveling with a pack of 5 people that don't look at all like us and clearly don't speak our language, that is
But we're trying to.
Oh, I don't do that anymore.
You just like
word to the wise. It's really offensive, man. Like, it's a caricature. It's so outdated. It's 2020. Like, come on.
It is.
Like that's in gnomish years. It's 2020.
All right.
So they say, you know what? Oh, that's I think that it makes sense. Your excuse or your reasoning is perfectly valid, and you'll have no more problems from us from here on out. Please let us tell you a word of advice, or we can give you maybe a safe word. So the next time you pass by, if you give us the safe word, we'll know that it's you, and we won't have any problems. So if you would just, in our native tongue, say gobbledygoo.
Gobbledygoo?
Gobbledygoo.
That is the safe word. Gobbledygoo.
Can anyone heal me?
Okay.
I don't think you got hit.
Yep.
Yes, he did.
I took 9. I'm at half health right now almost.
Okay. Oh, please let me take care of that. And I think I can use my brand new channeling divinity to lay on some hands and stuff. If I can go find where it went.
Oh, it's so sad. Corbin's the only one that doesn't have a potion because Matt gave Kair and Beatrice one.
Sorry, let me give those to you.
Poor Corbin.
And I will get it working so it actually does this automatically. I was expecting that it would. All right, so we have one for Kayer.
Am I allowed to give one to him?
And one for
or
Beatrice.
get
No, it's
yelled at
our
again?
potion.
No,
I know. Can I? Am I get yelled at?
Corbin, you said you were at half health.
11 out of 20.
Oh, okay. All right. So
sure.
Is that a no-go?
So Beatrice, you can do that.
Yay.
Well, so Corbin, I say Corbin, hold very still, and I slap the mess out of him across the face, right? To do 1 point of damage. At what point that he's actually at half damage that I can use, that's where my the channel divinity actually is only good for if they're at half.
Oh, I'm at half now.
Left.
Okay.
So I slap 1 hit point off of him and then heal him for 10.
Slap me in the wound. Sounds good.
All right. So
I say thank you, and I give him a kiss on the forehead.
Thank you.
Surprise.
Sweet of you.
very,
So am
very
I back
weird.
up now?
Yeah, you should be back up to full then, right?
Okay. All right, I'm full. Sounds good.
All right. So
Terrifying.
I walk up to Corbin and I'm like,
but you did use a channel
luckily you weren't-
divinity.
I did just use that channel divinity, so I got to figure out how I actually indicate that I done
Just
did
keep
it.
track of it. Just know that you can't turn any undead or do it again this turn or this day.
Yeah.
So they say, now remember, I'm sure you all wrote it down or committed it to memory. Safe word.
gobbledygook.
All right, sounds great.
Gobbledygook.
Oh, but make sure you do it in our accent, you jerk. That they say very quietly as you.
What
Oh,
was
nothing. That's just our dialect.
All right. Do you want to investigate the ring leading up to them, or do you want to just ask them if
Yeah,
they've
just
seen
ask him, did
something
anyone
strange?
run by?
Yeah. Have you seen anything run by up there?
You mean like pass by to the king's side of the building? Well, not
To this
really.
side.
Coming from
To-
the other way.
To the other side that we're not on?
No, this way. Like they
it-
came up.
Up
They're
towards you.
going towards you.
Oh
This little
no.
path up
We
towards you.
haven't seen anybody come up to relieve us on our guard post. Everybody is asleep, but I do expect that we'll see the people that should be relieving us shortly. Karamip and Jabby should be making their way over very shortly. In fact, they should have been here by now. I'm not sure where they are.
They're sleeping.
No,
We'll go look for them.
Good job, Clovis.
it's their turns to take guard. Why would they
I
be
know.
sleeping?
They're sleeping. I'm just telling you.
Oh, that's also another really, really racist thing. Gnomes are not all sleepy and lazy. You get that out of your mind. They're very upset with our halfling friend here.
Okay. I think Clovis needs to up his filter a little bit.
Could you make sure Karamip and Jabby know the safe word by the time you all switch? Because we'll be gone, but we'll be back.
Oh,
So-
absolutely.
All right,
That
let's
would
go
really
right.
help.
Let's go right.
So I walk back.
That is certainly not right. Oh, you're going up and right. Okay.
I'm going right. So I would like to politely enter this room and examine it in case someone's in here.
Politely.
Announce
Just
my
barge in, just fly in there, screaming.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of your thing. Just
screaming with an axe. No. So what's
Corbin
in here?
rushes in. You walk into a room and it seems to be kind
Barrels.
of a bunch of barrels. Some of them
Yeah.
seem to be used and need replenishment. Others are tapped and in use, and others are sealed and for use in the future. They have various dates on them and for maybe the time in which these were bottled or barreled. Is that
Can we tell
it's
at
a
a glance
brewery.
what's in it? I was gonna say.
not without trying some?
Not just gonna drink someone else's
I'd like
stuff.
to examine the room for evidence of the king running through here.
I'll be doing that too.
All right.
Through the mirror.
The thing that we were supposed to be doing, right? So you give me an insight check or a perception.
Perception. Okay.
Not bad.
That's not bad. You upon kind of looking through the room and checking out what's going on, you notice that there, you see the various barrels that all are in order of like date, and they all seem to, it makes sense. Like the oldest ones are the ones that are empty, and the ones that are currently being used are a little bit younger than the oldest ones, and then so on and so forth. So the and you do see a sign on the side of the wall that says mushroom wine. So on one of the barrels, it just kind of like mushroom wine batch number 420. I don't know why.
All right.
I walk up to one of the empty ones, and is it open, or is it like see, it's still closed?
It's opened. It's been tapped, and there's like an opening that like they took the tap out because this one is empty. This one's been finished.
So I just rock it to see if anything's in the empty ones.
No, you don't hear anything in that one.
That one. You gotta try.
Yeah, I'm gonna try all the ones that are empty.
Should we look for a secret door or something in this room?
You don't hear anything in any of the ones up there in the north, and then by the time that you get to the next wall, these are the ones that are like, the next two are tapped currently and being used, and then the rest of them in the room are full.
Spangle, you want to try your mirror or look for a door or something?
Yeah, I'll just be wandering around the room, looking for clues on the ground through my mirror.
Yeah, you don't notice anything backwards, then you don't see forward, or that the others haven't seen already forwards.
I wonder where he could have gone. Do you think that there must be another place?
Yeah,
so we didn't go the other direction.
Well, there's still lots of different places through here we haven't gone yet.
Let's keep looking. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, did anybody check and see if there's any like footprints in the room? Like it's dusty area, so.
Looks like
I don't.
I thought that's what Corbin said he was doing.
Corbin did. Okay.
Corbin did that.
Well, no.
I thought he was checking out the room itself, like with the barrels. So.
I did too, but you know, with you asking, Beatrice, you do see that it looks like one of the full barrels had recently been kind of plopped in there, but the date is correct, and let's just say it's this one right here. That one seemed like it was maybe recently put into place or moved.
Do you want to examine it carefully?
I would.
Well,
if I were you, Beatrice Galnoodle.
Yeah.
You just want to say that name, didn't you?
I do want to say it.
He does. He likes saying the name.
Okay, fine. I'll check out the most recently placed barrel.
Yeah, it seems full, just like the one beside it, just this one. But it does seem like there was it was moved aside at some point. Like there's a little bit of dust that had been like shifted. But it doesn't seem like there's anything weird about it.
Okay. I think we're all good there then.
Sure.
Okie dokie. So I see an option to go.
Try to roll the barrel to the side.
Do you want to see what's inside it? Maybe you should tap it, see if it's.
But maybe there's something underneath of the barrel.
Yeah, if it was moved recently.
Maybe we should taste it.
No, we shouldn't.
Good luck.
Not without paying.
The old mushroom wine trick.
I was say you're already making little gnome guys a little mad with it while you're sober. I can only imagine you a little on the drunk side.
Why stop there?
I guess I can try to adjust the barrel a little bit so we can see if there might be anything behind it or to the side of it.
Maybe pull the tap for a second, see if it's a door, but don't take it. Don't no more than a drop.
Okay, well, if you're gonna pull the tap, I'll just put my hand under there.
Sure. So you pull the tap, and there's no change. You expect for wine to come out, and wine does indeed come out. It is a very odd tasting wine.
It's very odd tasting.
It tastes like mushroom wine. You would
earthy.
Exactly what you would expect it to taste like.
just like
that's more of a gravy.
Yeah, it's more gravy as
thick, gamey. You have to chew it.
Yeah, it sounds so gross.
Really? Really?
I don't like this game.
I suppose I could. Can I? Is it too big for me to try to move the barrel a little bit?
No, you can certainly try to move the barrel.
Sure.
I don't even need an athletics check or anything. You can move it from side to side. You see that you've contributed to the dust and stuff kind of moving side by side, and you kind of can match it up. It looks like somebody tried to like jam this one up against the other one. That's these two that are right here. Someone tried to push them together and maybe to like fit an extra barrel in there or something. That looks like what maybe happened.
Nothing crazy.
Yeah, nothing crazy.
Moving on.
Is there any can I fit to the wall while it sits to the side?
Probably not if it just barely fits in there.
Can you fit to the wall? What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean while the barrel is shifted to the side, is enough room for me to slip in there?
I mean, yeah, there's enough width for another barrel to kind of fit in there, but they'd then be like touching each other. It would be a real tight fit.
But it didn't look as though there was a barrel there before.
It looked like that's exactly what somebody tried to do. Somebody tried to jam a barrel in there between the two.
But there's not another barrel here currently. So does it look as though can we check for perhaps another secret door back behind where that barrel was? Like it was rolled out the way.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me an insight check or a perception check.
Perception. Boop.
Yeah, you are touching the wall and you actually notice right back in the corner what looks to be like you pull out all of your Dexter level of blood spatter analysis, and you actually notice a tiny little like drop of what looks like an acid or blood splatter right up here in the corner.
Ew, gross.
But it's the tiniest amount, and there's nothing else that indicates that there was anything. Like it looks, you can't even tell if it's blood. It actually looks like more like an acidic like goo that was stuck up on the wall.
Luxxi, what did you see?
I don't know. There's something grody back there. Is it freshly?
No, it looks like it's been there for I don't know, call it like a week.
I don't know. There's something gross back there.
So we go look at it. Corbin, do you recognize it?
Can I do a check to see if I recognize it?
I mean, you can certainly do a check, but you're not going to find anything new from the 22 that Spangle just had.
Okay.
You just found some goo up there.
Looks like goo.
Looks like old acidic
looks like goo.
I see the goo.
Standard goo.
Well, there's nothing else in this room. We should probably move on.
I wonder if that's gobbledygook.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what you did there.
It's our safe word.
All right, so I'm at a point where we can go left or right. I'd like to do a check to see if I can find footsteps or a clue hinting me to a direction.
Sure. You haven't really been able to find footsteps prior to this. You haven't noticed anything, any footsteps on this side necessarily yet.
Okay, I'd like to check for glue or blood or any type of odd thing to hint me in a direction.
Sure, yeah, just a general perception check.
More gobbledygook.
Never mind.
You smell the faint like waft of fresh mushrooms. You know that smell that's out in like after it's rained and it's damp?
PG-13.
No, not in a weird way. Like,
smells like
no,
gravy.
When people lay new mulch and then there's like that fungusy smell. You know what? It's not important.
Okay.
You smell the fungus from outside. You smell mushrooms.
All right, let's go right.
Guys, there's another door where we first came from. I'm wondering if the trail's gone cold. But I run over here to get a little more sip of this wine.
Corbin, as you walk into this room,
I haven't gone in yet. I'm waiting at the outer edge.
As you've walked into where you are right now, actually, yeah, right where you are, specifically, you hear the absolute, like, the laughter of a madman, like, and you see some kind of an interesting mechanism spinning around, and he sees you in one of his 360-degree spurts and says, "Not today!" And you are did 17 hit your AC? You are hit with a crossbow bolt that flies directly into your shoulder, and you take 5 damage.
Okay.
And he continues. He continues to spin.
Retreat. All right, let's back up to the corner of line of sight so he can't hit us. So you all back up behind me.
What the heck? What happened?
Oh my God, are you okay?
What hit? Back up. All right. So
it is an extremely large crossbow bolt. Like, these were. I mean, it's much larger than than you would expect from this short range.
Okay, so I shout in, "We mean you no harm. Please stop."
Yes.
So
maybe we should try to get the little crossbow out of your shoulder first.
So Corbin, where is he? Is he on? What did you see?
He's in the center of the room. There's like a 4 crossbow deal thing that spins. Apparently, we need to talk this guy down or something, because he's crazy.
Or we could do something else.
And I go in here.
And I just lean slightly over and I cast sleep.
He still has a crossbow hanging out of his shoulder.
I can't do anything with that.
Wait, do you move into, like, line up? You have to see them to cast sleep, right?
Let's see. The point you choose within range.
It's a tough hallway. He's got a pretty good line of sight down there. So I'm just bleeding in the back now. If someone could help me.
Yeah.
I mean, I can peek my head out, can I?
Yeah, you can peek your head out.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay. So
and I cast sleep immediately.
Go ahead and move into the position where you are planning to cast sleep.
Well, I'm small, so I have half cover.
Are you gonna go into a place where you can see him?
So I'm trying to try to enter the room naturally stealthy.
So where you're standing currently, you can see him and he can see you. So if you're doing it, you can do it.
I'm going to try to enter that area with being like stealthy without him trying to see me.
Okay.
Since I'm naturally stealthy.
Sure. I guess go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Yes.
You feel stealthy.
and so what I do is I go in and I walk one step in and I cast sleep.
You cast sleep at the same moment. He will the sleep spell does indeed hit, or you cast it, and I'll do the saving throw for it. Or do you do an attack roll for it? I can't remember.
I do a roll for it, and I'm gonna cast it at level 1. So if he has more than 25 health, he will not fall asleep.
You are I need you to tell me what you are pinpointing your spell on.
Right on him.
Right on him.
Well, then it's 5, 10, 15, 20. Yeah, right, like right there.
Right on.
Okay.
But he's the main thing I'm trying to get.
Okay. I'm not sure how to rule this, but I'll say that you cast sleep for 25 total hit points, and he laughs and he looses another crossbow bolt in your direction at the moment, and he misses, and you notice that while you keep, or actually I need you to give me a concentration check. So it's a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Because I think do you have to keep concentration for sleep?
I think it's just the one and done.
It is. It's yeah, no, it's a one and done.
Okay. So as you cast it, you see two of the crossbow bolts or crossbows. They don't reload. So right now it looks like there have been 3 that have been 2 of them are like disabled, it seems like.
So it's 4 shots.
Okay. And did he fall asleep?
He did not fall asleep.
Oh, yikes. He's not asleep. He's not asleep.
He continues laughing, and you still have movement for your turn. Because you had only moved 5.
I just backed up. He's not asleep. He looks like he has 2 more shots.
And go ahead and roll a 20, just a regular 20, because you cast a spell, and this is something I was supposed to be doing before, and nothing happens. So you cast your spell, and you feel for a moment like this feeling come across you, and then it goes away. You don't feel anything cool happen. Whereas,
I don't feel like I cast a spell.
No. I mean, it feels like you cast a spell, and you saw what you expect to see happen when you cast a spell, and the spell landed, and stuff happened from the spell, but there was like a wave of like awesome came over you for a second, and then vanished instantly.
You know what? Since everyone's running out there, it looks like I'm close enough to actually just run up to him. It's 25 feet from me, so I'm just gonna run up to where he is and try to pull him off his little contraption.
Okay.
Seeing as he just shot, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just gonna try to grapple, I guess it would be.
Kair is done for. He is not asleep.
I know he's not asleep.
I ran back into the room and said he's not asleep.
And Beatrice is pulling the arrow out of me right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm trying to help him with his shoulder.
Sure. So yeah, you run up to him, Kair, and he and on your approach, he does shoot another of the crossbow bolts. It rotates another as it's spinning in its 360-degree pattern, and it also misses on your approach.
Okay.
Excuse me.
As you run past, I'm like, no, Kair, wait. And as he's running past and fortunately missing that crossbow bolt, I'm going to cantrip a mage hand from halfway safely around the corner as best I can, and try to trigger now the remaining crossbow bolt. The remaining crossbow.
Sure.
Flailing around.
It's you're trying to distract them. Give me a performance check.
I think he's just trying to shoot the crossbow with.
Yes, I'm trying to trigger the crossbow
to make it just go.
You're trying to
point it at me again. I think that's what he's pushing for here.
Gotcha.
You're being a distraction.
Okay, so
not so much a distraction as like discharge
it. Make it happen.
Okay.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Sure. Go ahead and just give me a dexterity check then. Just a straight up and down dex check. And you don't have your advantage anymore because you used it, didn't you?
I don't have my advantage, but I do what I still have time for that bardic, or have the bardic advantage, or is that already 10 minutes gone?
No, you could still use your bardic inspiration. You've got a d6 that you could throw on top of that check.
That's not likely. No, I'll let it sit.
Okay.
I think a 10 would be high enough. But I'm still.
That's if I'm lucky. Okay, yeah. Let me do the bardic inspiration.
Okay, so just slash roll d6.
Oh, I thought it was just a +6, not a.
No,
I got to roll for it. 4, 9.
9. So the mage hand, without your wonderful vision of exactly where it needs to be fumbling around, it can't quite make out where the contraption would let loose another bolt. Excuse me.
I should have been looking in the mirror.
So the gnome on top of the contraption laughs hysterically and kind of like is looking around at this mage hand that's distracting him momentarily, and he's just laughing uncontrollably. Like he seems like he's totally off his rocker. He may have been spinning around on this thing up on top of this contraption for who knows how long. Like you can't determine the last time he actually like slept. So you can try to grapple him, Anthony. I'm gonna need like a dex check before you make any contact with him, and then an athletics check to see if you can kind of get him to the ground. So go ahead and give me a dexterity or an acrobatics check.
You throw some tree seeds at him too if you want.
So you said a dex check or an acrobatics?
Yeah, give me an acrobatics check.
Nope.
Ooh.
Nope.
You dive at him, and one of the spinning heavy crossbows, kind of knocks you aside. You just fall prone next to it. You don't take any damage.
Bummer. I don't think I can stand back up with my movement.
I think you used most of your movement to get there. So let's say it knocked you one space over, and you're laying there prone, but you're on the ground, which is not a bad thing, and you're really close to it. So it's too close for it to really have good advantage on you.
Corbin, what are you doing? He still can shoot.
As you come across into the range, it is
Corbin. No.
Wait, I just fixed your shoulder, man.
I know.
Well, with whatever your speed is going to be separate from your move, it is going to go ahead and shoot another arrow at you. And it has a 14. Does that beat your AC? What is your AC? Is it 13? Is that what your AC is?
What? Me?
Yes.
AC is 13.
Okay, so
bummer.
It hits you. So it's another 5.
Okay.
5's not that bad.
But you can now continue with the rest of your turn. And
is he out of arrows? I need to know that.
Are you going to use your action to do an insight check?
I was going to try to disable the machine with a shot from my arrow.
You certainly can try that.
So I pull up my longbow and I take a shot to disable the machine.
Okay. Go ahead and make an attack. That hits, and go ahead and give me damage. And I think you just click the longbow thing.
Yeah, click on the longbow. Yeah.
That's 6. So you see a third one of them seems to go disabled at this point as well. And he laughs and he says, "Well, all I need is one."
I didn't know we were playing with Woody Woodpecker over here.
So he you go down to 10. Did you update that? Yeah.
Can I dive back into cover after my shot, or am I standing here?
You can. Yeah, you still have movement.
All right.
You Spangle, you walk into the room, and he continues to spin wildly around and looses a bolt at you as well. And
that's fine. I just want to get between him and Corbin.
He really, it seems like he is, now that he only has to focus on aiming one, he gets a good hit. And you take 10 damage.
Ooh.
What do you mean he gets a good hit?
He gets that good hit. He pulls
what
that.
happened to my armor class? My armor class disappeared. Oh shit.
Yeah, you removed that. I don't know why or how.
I don't
more why. I know how you did it. I think you just updated it. It's an easy thing to do, but this one I know hits. I don't actually have to ask you.
Well, but my armor class is 27.
He rolled 20.
That would indeed still hit, and that's why it did twice the damage.
So I'm like, no, Luxxi! So I cast minor illusion, and I create an illusion of Korbaz.
Okay.
That like is standing. So if I'm here, the minor illusion's standing right there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and I say, Nerkly, what are you doing? in Corbaz's voice. So I roll a performance check.
Sure. Yeah.
Trying to distract.
Do we know if that's Narkly?
Yeah.
We don't even know what Narkly looks like. It's just a crazed gnome.
Well, I'm just making an assumption.
Oh my
gosh!
What is your? That is. Oh, because they all look the same.
Because they all look the same.
That's
well,
terrible.
a crazed person going not this time makes me think this is a gnome.
So the spinning gnome sees the illusion and says and shoots one at the illusion and does the illusion have an AC or anything, or does it just instantly disappear if it is hit?
It would just pass through it.
Okay, so it shoots it.
It's right there. I put it up because things can pass through it.
Oh, okay. So it shoots it, and an arrow passes directly through it, and he seems to continue upon his crazed spinning, like a beautiful dreidel, just spinning.
So 8 nights. All right. So I cast dancing lights, and I start spinning them around him and trying to I run to Luxxi to pull her back behind.
Okay, so go ahead and move yourself into the position where you would be able to do that.
Yeah.
And he says, and 17 beat Tracy.
Mm-hmm.
So you take 5 damage.
Damn it.
Damage.
Ow.
And he does not seem to be getting dizzy. However, there is only the one thing that is actually active in shooting. Doesn't seem to hinder him being able to shoot all the time and reload instantly, but it's only one of them.
I can always go in with my arrow and try to shoot out the remaining arrow or crossbow thing.
Cool. I love it. Cool. As you come into the range of it, it is going to make an attack on you.
Okay.
I'm
scared.
Does 12 beat Tracy? Can't select you.
No, I think that's a miss. I think she's got a 13.
I have a 14.
All right, so it misses. It shoots wide, even in this very, narrow.
Straight shot.
It shoots up. He tilted it up. It was very weird and just right over your head.
All right.
And go ahead and make your attack. That is a big old fat hit. That's a crit, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for go ahead and roll double damage. Go hit your longbow. And that was +5. So I don't know that got your.
No, she didn't click the right thing.
Oh,
I think she clicked to.
She rolled again. Yeah. So click on your longbow.
Yeah, you
click on the actual item.
You click.
That's what I did.
Yeah, in the chat, click longbow.
You click. You see where my on my
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Okay, so there we go. Yeah, so that's but you get to roll another d8. So go ahead and roll a 1d8 separate. Just /roll 1d8. So you do so it was 11
do a lot.
+3, or is it 11 +2?
11 +2. 11 +2.
So yeah, it has the 8 +3 in the thing, so I wasn't sure. So you had 13 and 7, so you do 20 damage to it, and the final one cracks off, and he continues to spin wildly, but he is. You'll never stop me spinning. So he continues to spin. Factoré will never stop spinning.
Wait, what did he say? Factoré?
Factoré.
So it's not our king.
Unless that's a shapeshifter.
Interesting.
So I look on the walls for a lever to stop the spinning.
I think it's controlled by him.
There you don't seem to see anything, but as you're walking around, he says, "Factoré, attack!" And from him, 3 bolts of light
slowly emanate up straight from him, and they seem dizzy themselves as they kind of swirl down, one shooting to Clovis, one shooting to Spangle, and one shooting to Kair. You each take 3 damage.
Oh. So I scream out, gobbledygoo!
Gobbledygoo indeed! Factoré! I'm spinning around! So he continues to spin.
Is he still a threat at this point?
Yes, he just hit us.
Yeah, he just hit everybody.
He can do that more than once. Okay.
Is he is this thing big enough for me to try to stop it from spinning, or is it too large? Like, I'm sure I could tell by looking.
It's a pretty big contraption. You don't expect that it's gonna stop. If you you're nice and close to it, so you see that he seems to have like a push pedal underneath him that he's like a sewing machine. Like the smallest amount of force that he has to apply to it, it's just kind of an up and down with his foot. It has him spinning like a whirling dervish, just going crazy and swirling around madly.
Am I
able to notice that?
Kair sees it. He's nice and close.
Beatrice, you disable it?
He's got something underneath his foot that's making this thing spin.
Have you guys
anything anyone can do to
knock him off with
that?
the mage hand? Push him off.
I was like, can anybody knock him down?
Push anything. With
Well, the mage hand isn't very strong, but if it can hold the pedal down, that'll be something.
So we are all talk no play. He continues to spin, and another 3 bolts of light come out and attack Clovis, Kair, and Spangle. So you each take another 3 damage.
All right.
As you stand here debating what to do.
I run.
I'm gonna pop. Oh, you go first.
I just run and jump at him.
So you need to go to 9, because you're not updating when I ask or when I give you damage.
I'm updating on my players on my sheet.
I'm writing it. Yeah.
And Spangle's low down to 2.
Yeah. I might grab up this healing potion and chug it down. Actually, is that my action, or is that like a?
That would indeed be an action.
Actually, I'm at 4.
Did anybody want to?
Or is that like a bonus action?
So you just ran up to him. Are you gonna do anything?
Yeah, I ran and jumped at him to knock him off.
Okay, give me an acrobatics check.
How did you make it? There you go. Acrobatics check.
And after you guys figure out my spinning trap puzzle, we'll take a break.
Well, I'm going to forego the juice and mage hand those pedals.
You are knocked to the ground and prone, Clovis. You can use the rest of your movement to stand up if you'd like.
I'm going to use the rest. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'll stand up, sure, why not?
Good call. Yeah. He continues to laugh and twirl and laugh and twirl. Anybody else want to do anything, or?
Yeah. I'm gonna pop out.
I'm about to shoot him off the thing.
I'm gonna pop out and take a shot at the machine to stop him from spinning. My goal is to disable the spinning.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna shoot my longbow. Not a great shot. Do that.
I mean, it's not like it's moving. That should hit.
Well, no, that actually misses, or it doesn't quite pierce the contraption's, we'll call it armor, in like really light air quotes. If we don't get another action, he's gonna be
I
doing
said
something.
my action. I'm going to be mage handing those controls down.
Say, I'm about ready to try to knock him off with an arrow.
Right. So your mage hand, it doesn't seem to be able to counteract his pedaling.
I think he was trying to make it spin more.
Are you trying to make it spin more or slow it down? I thought you were trying to stop it.
Interfere in general. Like if the pedal can be held down, or like any other controls that can be knocked or anything like that.
Give me a 20 and on a 4-sided die roll, and on an odd you speed it up, and on an even you slow it down.
Okay.
So it slows. It's still spinning, but he's still working the pedal, but it's slower now.
but he still spins and he still decides that it's time to party. He launches another volley of bolts into the air, and the 3 people closest to him take another 3 damage each. Clovis, Kair, and Spangle.
I fall down.
You fall down, unconscious but not dead. I'm not dead yet.
I used the potion of healing
with 1 health. Okay, let me. You can use that from your journal, and you can just mark it off as used, and then you're gonna use. You will always get the full maximum from potions. So whatever the maximum amount is.
Okay, click it.
Potion. Yeah, go ahead and click it, just so if there's anything in the game that needs to know that you clicked it, but then you can add the appropriate amount, the full amount back.
Where is it?
Yeah, I don't know where that one is.
I see it in my journal, but it doesn't look like there's anything I need to do to it.
When you say journal, do you mean character sheet? I don't.
It's up in, like, there's a chat. The chat, yeah. And then right to the right of it is the journal.
Yeah, I mean the journal.
Yeah,
magic items. Okay, I see it.
I see it there, but there's nothing I can do to check it off.
There should be like some. Is there anything that's like a hyperlink look?
No.
Yeah.
I'm clicking potion of healing. I don't see.
It just pops up with an information about what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't do anything to it.
So go ahead and just add the total amount for it, which is, I think, it doesn't say anything about it. It just says potion.
Oh yeah, no.
You regain 2d4 plus 2 hit points.
Yeah.
So you get 2d4 maximum 4 and 4 plus 2.
So 8. Okay.
Or whatever it says for you, because it's based on your Constitution modifier.
2d4. Okay. So. Yeah. All right. I throw the bottle down and I'm like, all right, someone shoot this guy.
I don't think we should kill him.
Shoot him off the pedestal.
I'm about ready to shoot him in the shoulder. Aim for his shoulder.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop out. I'm gonna pop out and go for a shot.
He's literally spinning in circles. You can't really aim for a shoulder.
I'm gonna aim for a head.
I'm gonna try. I'm a ranger. This is what we do.
Are you trying to? You're just trying to disable? Like you're trying to knock him out?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm not trying to kill him.
We still don't want to kill him.
So
what's the group plan here?
Kill him.
Your benevolent DM is going to mention that with ranged attacks and spells, you cannot try to knock someone out. But if you try to melee attack somebody and you take them to 0 hit points, that would indeed disable them and knock them out and not kill them.
Can we just knock them down, or
maybe?
I mean, with a ranged attack kind of thing.
I haven't done anything for a while. Can I try to remove him from that device again?
You absolutely can.
There. All right, so I guess I need to roll another dex check.
Yeah, dex check to see if you an acrobatics check to see if you can jump on top.
I see your rangers are getting a little antsy over here.
All right, you knock him, and you're up on it, and you're spinning there on top of him.
Ooh.
On top of him?
Yeah, you jumped up on top of it. That's what you were jumping up on top of.
All right. I guess I'll try to grapple him and pull him off the thing so that he's not on there and we can all subdue him in some way. Yes?
Sure.
Which would be...
You're looking at it. He looks like he's strapped in. This is like a roller coaster ride. You're not, I mean, like you're up there and you're spinning around and you can probably hit him.
All right. Then I'll take a swing at him. I've got a great club.
Sounds good. Go ahead and just swing away.
Let's just click the great club.
Click the great club.
Oop.
You hit him.
Cool.
So how much damage do you do?
Kair is doing non-lethal damage, I think. He's a lover.
I just don't want to kill some random dude.
Right. You can try to just knock him out. That's I think that's what you're trying to do, right?
He's not a random dude. It's the king. What could go wrong?
He's called himself.
He's not. As I say, that's not the king.
He is very
close to the king.
Whoops.
Right.
My bad. Wrong button.
Yeah, just the little button below Great Club. You see where my mouse is? Just so everybody knows where anybody that's playing.
Yeah, you click the text that says the weapon after you roll it.
Yeah, if I tell you to do it.
Gotcha. Boop.
All right, so 9 bludgeoning damage. You knock him, and he is unconscious.
Woo!
In a single swoop of the great club, you knock him unconscious, and he continues to spin until the mage hand is maybe dispelled and no longer pushing on it at all.
I run over to stabilize Luxxi.
Sure, Luxxi is back up to 0. There's no current, or back up to 1. There's no current danger. So.
Oh, thank you.
You took quite a fall.
So you guys could unbuckle him, and whatever you want to do at that point. But
I'm gonna tie him up.
Let's go ahead and take a 5-minute break because we said we would be doing that. So
okay,
burb.
We'll burb, and we're gonna do a 3-minute ad in this 5-minute break, so nobody else has to watch any ads.
Okay.
BRB.
And this isn't.
Oh no, we lost Clovis.
This is potentially not
no,
mini
maybe he has just the lights off in his house.
He turned his lights off and walked away.
Oh. Goodbye. Well, I guess Clovis is done.
Sleepy time.
Oh, that means I can do this fun little thing here.
Oh,
Look.
the offline thing?
Yeah, I can do his offline. Clovis. Clovis is offline.
Oh, I like the picture.
Comes with that noise. Clovis is offline.
There he is.
I know, but this is more fun. And we don't...
Oh, I wonder what picture.
There he is. He's back.
Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Just don't do it again.
Not again.
So I got 45 hit points, huh?
You were asking something that was game mechanic related, and that's not something we want to talk about during stream. So welcome back. We got more Gnomengarde to take care of here, and you guys have an unconscious gnome that is probably very, very dizzy.
All right. Well,
I tied him up as we ended, so he's now tied up.
Well, him.
We should probably remove him from this thing he's on, and then tie it up, right?
Sure.
Like not leave him on this spinning contraption of death.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
I guess I'll pull him down. I can't move him though.
Where would you like him? You want him off in a corner?
Yeah,
it's fine. Where we can be around him.
He's tied up with hemp rope.
It's a she though.
You should cover.
She.
You should certainly cover its mouth so it can't cast more spells at us because those hurt. So what's the plan? I assume it's unconscious right now.
It is indeed unconscious.
Okay.
You have unconscioused it.
I think I'm going to drink my potion because I took 9 damage and the potion heals 8 or.
I think it was roll. No. It's automatically going to do the full. So I think you add 10 back because it's 2d4 plus 2.
Oh, okay.
Or whatever your Constitution modifier is.
That puts me back to I'm a Constitution plus 1, so that gives me 9 health. So I'm back to 15.
Cool. And you lose a potion.
Yes, sir.
Did anybody else use a potion? I just want to make sure that I'm marking them off here.
Yeah, I used it, but I'm confused because I thought it was different than what you told him versus me. But okay.
You were the one that read it. You said 2d4 plus whatever.
2.
That's correct. But what about this Constitution modifier? You didn't tell me that.
That's the plus 2 at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But if
I've only got a 12 for Constitution. You probably have a 14.
Which would be a plus 2.
Yeah.
So.
Well, no, I think it's just plus 2 in general because I've got 2d4 plus 2 and I don't have any Constitution.
As I say, I have 1. It still says it too.
Okay, then it has nothing to do with Constitution. I'm just a dum-dum.
That's right.
It's just a guarantee.
So it's even
but that's
easier.
fine. I'm still back to full.
Yeesh.
In Spangle, you used yours too, right?
I think I'm going to. Yeah. I'll go ahead and click it off here in the click.
Yeah. So
yes, I used it.
So Beatrice is the only one that has it.
Yeah, I still have 1. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. And you can just update your hit points there, Spangle.
Or maybe I'll leave the potion and I'm gonna burn off a spell actually instead.
Oh, you're not gonna use the potion.
I'm not gonna use the potion. I'm gonna cast Cure Light Wounds.
Okay. So some amount of time passes Are you guys waiting until he wakes up?
One quick second. Do you need me to roll for this? I'm going to destroy this thing with my hand axe real quick.
The mechanism?
You want to?
Can I just disable the death machine?
Are you casting a spell, Spangle?
Yes.
Can you go ahead and put it in the chat? Like click on the spell, whatever it is that you're casting.
Dupe.
And then after you do that, can you roll a d20? Is that a level 1 spell?
That's a level 1 spell.
Okay. Can you roll a d20?
Can I?
That's so exciting. Nope. All right, 14. Tiny, insubstantial motes of light circle the caster, shedding bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet. So some cool little like swirly majiggers kind of like go out from you after you use a spell here in Gnomengarde, and you feel like there's some kind of a magical attunement from this land, from this place, from this fount of magical energy that just kind of courses through you as you cast a spell.
I have a quick question about Cure Wounds. Mm-hmm. It says in the description, a creature you touch. Does that include people in your party?
Yeah.
Just touch yourself. Yeah.
We're creatures?
Like okay. Forehead.
Anthony.
Okay, good to go. It's forehead. What's wrong with you? Okay. PG-13.
Something. Ryan, you're not in frame so much. I don't know if you can just move your webcam a little bit. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks, man.
Can I do Cure Wounds too? I have a few hit points I need to touch up.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
And make sure you guys are keeping track of the spell slots you use for a day. I think at this point, Ryan, you've used 1 spell slot and 1 channel divinity.
Yep. Though I'm not sure where I keep track of the channel divinity.
You get 2 a day.
You just think.
And, just 1 a day, I think.
Oh, is it 1? Oh, maybe once you level up. Okay, so you heal up 7 points there, Corbin. You guys, you want to hack up the machine? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I want to disable this thing.
You want to destroy it, or you? Because it's disabled.
It's already pretty disabled. Yeah.
Nothing's happening right now to it.
Well, I don't want it to become a threat ever again.
Well, I mean, the gnomes might need it to protect themselves from not us. I would just make sure it's off personally, but I can't. Okay. I'm not going to stop you from breaking it.
It's your choice. No, it just wrecked us. You guys don't want to hurt it?
Wrecked them.
I mean, we did hurt it. It's disabled.
PG-13.
No. Oh. All right. So it's disabled indeed, and more time passes by, and Facktoré begins to awake, and she says, "Oh, wow! I sure am tied up, and the world's not spinning."
When you say more time, has it been perhaps an hour?
No, she's you got her down, you tied her up, and she, after being knocked out, it's been 5-10 minutes. Yeah, not like a huge amount of time, or else you guys would less time than it would have taken to determine that you were doing a short rest.
Okay.
This is a short amount of time.
I think we should probably drag her over to those guards and ask them why she's not. Make sure she's not just some regular gnome being weird, thinking that she's protecting. Because they already shot at us one time for reasons without really talking. So I think we should take her over to the guards and be like, "Hey, is this normal?"
I don't know. That's
Gobbledygoo.
I used the password for her. It didn't work.
No, you didn't.
So you want Gata? He said gobbledygoo.
He screamed it.
Oh.
All right. So you want to move down towards the guards with her?
I mean, that's what I want. But if you guys don't want to,
cool. We can have a bigger conversation.
I'll drag her down, and you guys can move down with others. She's just kind of ranting and raving while you are dragging her down.
I don't know if that's such a good idea.
Oh, hey guys! Hola,
Gobbledygoo.
And they say, "Hail! Oh yes, gobbledygoo! They said it. I can't believe it." They just kind of snicker at each other, and they're very amused that you said something that maybe in their language means something that that you didn't expect, you know, that you wouldn't normally say. So they're kind of chuckling at each other like, oh, I can't believe it. Look at these guys. And they say, oh, what are you doing with Factoré? Did you wander into her workshop? She's a loose cannon. And the other one kind of looks at Pog looks at Ula and like, really, Cannon? You couldn't work in like a crossbow joke in there? She's been working on quite the contraption. I don't know if you got to see it. It's gonna be great for defense, but she hasn't slept in weeks. We don't know what's keeping her awake. It's all the spinning, probably.
I think she went crazy.
Yeah, I don't know about loosing any losing a loose cannon, but she definitely loosed some crossbow bolts at us.
No, see, that's about what you could have done. And Factoré says, Factoré! and tries to like nudge herself into a spinning as she's bound, and she's like kind of bouncing around trying to spin in the motion that she was spinning on the crossbow machine. And Ula and Pog look at each other and say, that's our Factoré.
You guys are very strange people.
I suppose we should drop her off with them so they can make sure she goes somewhere and gets some rest, because clearly she needs it. Maybe
I don't know that they're going to help her get rest.
Well, no, nobody could get her down off of that thing. Every time anybody walked into the room, she'd shoot them. So we appreciate that you got her down. Thank you. She does need some rest. I think she's gone insane.
Cool.
All right.
Can we leave her here with you as we keep looking for your king?
Absolutely.
Custody?
That is definitely the bigger problem. So do that. Here, we'll keep her. Zip.
Wait a minute. Factoré? Did you see the king go through there?
Factoré!
I don't think she's gonna be of any help. Okay, let's just go back to her workshop.
Ula and Plug, in the barrel, and there's a room with barrels and wine, like mushroom wine. We saw some blood on the walls. Have you noticed that?
And they kind of like nervously glance at each other and they say, "Oh yes, rather unfortunate. That was where we were last saw one of our dear friends. He's no longer, well, we don't know where he is, to be honest. We only know that he was going in to change out the wine barrels, and then he was gone."
What was his name?
John.
John?
Really?
I know, very interesting name for a gnome. We all thought it was weird.
Not as weird as Gobbledygook.
So Ula, he went into that room and never came out?
Well, it was somewhere in between the kitchen and the cellar for wine, but yes, I'd assume that he passed through Factoré's workshop, and whether or not he went around her workshop or he went through it, we never saw any body in there. So he was going from the kitchen to the wine cellar, and then nothing. He was gone.
Where's the
going from the kitchen to the wine cellar? The wine cellar is where the barrels are.
So the kitchen is past Factoré's.
Indeed.
How did you all get past Factoré to actually like get food and things? Did you have to go all the way around your entire building every single time?
We've been going outside ever since the incident.
That sounds awful.
She's crazy.
Okay.
The incident? Since the incident with John?
No, since she's gone insane and she's been shooting people that come into her room.
All right. Thank you. We're going to go check the kitchen.
All right, thank you.
I vote we check the kitchen.
Thank you, Ula.
You're welcome. Bye.
All right.
Okay, so should we examine this room or keep moving?
You notice there is just papers and drawings and schematics that are strewn about the room, and they're like there's like a rough sketch of a machine that resembles essentially this one, but with small crossbows, and then like the big X out of it, and then one with like slightly larger crossbows and another X out of it, and then one with gigantic crossbows, and it's got a big like big circle and a check mark. So you think that she'd gone through a couple different iterations of this machine before settling on one that she felt was appropriate for making. They seem like rough, but it seems like this is what she was working on. Nothing nefarious, just trying to protect her homeland.
All right, I'm gonna peek around this corner and announce myself. And
no, don't announce it. Maybe we should move stealthily, guys.
Do you want to move stealthily?
We're gonna sneak up on people in the kitchen. That's how you get stabbed. But if you want to.
This is their like lair. I don't know if we need to sneak. Home. We just met one crazy person. The rest of them are fine.
Last time you entered the room and you announced yourself, you got shot with a crossbow bolt.
Well, one time.
I'll lead. It's fine.
One time, okay.
To be fair, the last time he didn't announce himself, he was ridiculed and mocked for like 2 weeks straight. So I don't know. It's a toss up.
No win.
You just can't win.
It's the no win scenario.
All right, I like to look in this room and examine it. What's going on in here?
Which room?
What are these things to the right here? In here.
Move into the room.
No, I'm examining at the doorway.
You can't see anything from where you are. No, just kidding. You walk into a room and you see what looked like crude, like crab-like barrel machines. So it looks like somebody's taken some barrels, like some used mushroom wine barrels, and turned them into like BattleBot fighting crabs or something. You can't tell exactly from where you're standing because you're such a punk that's it's afraid to go inside. So
I'm gonna go check it out. But
okay.
No, don't do it.
The crab grants you 1,000 gold, Kair. Good job for being a brave adventurer. No, it's upon further inspection, closer further inspection. No, it does look like indeed it would move, and it seems like the keys are in the ignition.
I'm not just gonna hop on someone's BattleBot crab.
You don't want to take 2 BattleBots out? Okay.
No, I don't think we should. They're not ours.
I think you should.
Is somebody gonna jump in a BattleBot?
I
don't know how else I could have made this more enticing. These are BattleBot crabs that you could be getting in. The keys are in the ignition.
I walk over to look at it. I just can't help myself.
And what do you do?
I'm just looking. I'm walking. I'm kicking the legs like you kick a tire of a car.
So it seems like it's like they're not the most sturdy. Like they don't look like they are. As you're kicking the pincers, you see that they don't seem like they would really hold up in much of a fight. As much as maybe they're used for like moving some stuff. They look like they're more like they're a gnomish forklift. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Like moving barrels.
That would make sense.
Ooh. Do you want to try to move some barrels around with these things? Since we have some evidence of
we've got 2
blood
already.
Let's move some barrels.
You guys had no problems moving the barrels when you were in there. Like what? Okay, you do what you want.
We can build a pyramid of barrels now.
You're like you see like a glowing thing in the center of the room, and then you lose all attention. You were going to the kitchen.
All right. Let's keep going. That's fine.
I can continue on.
I mean, you can take BattleBot crabs if you want to the kitchen, but I'm just saying you had a goal.
Let's go.
Like my character see that.
Okay, you want to go that way?
There's a door here.
Oh, okay.
All right, I want to do typical door mechanics. Knock on the door, announce myself. See if anybody's in there first. Hello, is anybody behind this door?
Upon approaching the door, you hear the clatter of what you assume is, because you've been kind of told that it's in this direction, the kitchen, and you hear kitchen noises happening. So you don't know for sure what is what's going on behind, but as you knock and approach the door and announce yourself, you do hear that they are they start to they got quiet for a second, and they're like, oh no, do you think it's her? Oh god, I hope she's come down off that evil contraption. Man, it would make our lives a lot easier if we don't have to make that 20-foot jump. Ugh, gosh, it's the worst. So they say, who is it?
It's Corbin, Steel Feet. We're just here looking for the king. We had some run-ins with your friend with the crossbow machine, and we're just going through the kitchen looking for your king.
I'm sorry, you had a run-in with Factoré?
Yes.
Oh,
she tried to kill us.
Is she still on that crazy contraption?
Oh no, we tied her up and gave her to the guards. She's gonna be in the crazy place, wherever you call the crazy place. She's gonna be there.
You hear a thundering towards the door of excited small feet, and they swing the door open with this wide-eyed, bright and excited feeling. And you can tell they are very happy at the prospect of Factoré being pulled off of her machine. You're hugged by Joybell runs over and gives the first person she sees a big hug, and she says, oh, thank you so much. I've had to make that stupid food run every single time. Oh, and she just kind of like melts into the floor with happiness, and she's overcome with joy, as her name says, Joybell. So she's very, very happy. They're all very happy. Everybody here is very happy. There's jubilation and excitement as these gnomes take a break from doing all their kitchenly duties. You see that Joybell had run over from the stove that was over on the east wall.
Okay. So I think we have two main questions. One, what's the deal with those crab things in the other room?
Oh yes, the BattleBot crabs. They're not that great for battling. In fact, they're pretty clunky for really much moving at all. But if you need to get a barrel of good old mushroom wine from one place to another, they're your guy. Except if that other place is across the rope bridge, then it's a no-go, or over rocks, or, well, really, you can get them from the kitchen to the cellar usually. It's really just good for that. And corners are difficult. They're not exactly the best machines, but that's gnomish invention for you.
They're very nice. Second question, probably more important.
Did you see the one with the racing stripe?
No, we couldn't differentiate between them, but we're not gnomes.
I mean, it's just a racing stripe.
How many crab bots do you have?
Oh, just the two. All the others were kind of taken apart to make some kind of crazy heavy crossbow shooting swirly durly.
Yeah, that thing's pretty tough.
Yeah,
it almost killed all of us.
It's nearly killed many of us, so we only have a few hit points. Or whatever approximation that you would assign to the length of our lives.
Okay, so have you seen your
just
king
over 5,
here?
But not quite enough for 2 shots.
Anyways,
sorry.
No, go ahead. Just curious if you've seen your king, run through here.
No, but we believe him to be locked in his room with his husband.
Nope, not anymore.
We lost him.
What do you mean you lost him? Which one?
The one that wasn't tied up.
Which one was tied up? This is news to us.
Nerkly was tied up.
Corbaz have been captured?
Nerkly.
We're looking for Carbaz.
No, we're looking for Nerkly.
Nerkly.
Nerkly. That ran off.
My mistake.
Are you guys the shapeshifter? No, just kidding. We know that you're not. The Dards came over and told us that we should be expecting you. You're looking for King Nerkly, and you've found King Corbaz. Very, very nice. Thank you for disseminating that information to us. That is helpful. Joybell kind of gives a look to the others like, come on, guys. These guys are stand-up. They've done us a favor.
I walk up to Joybell and I say, Joybell, what happened to John?
And she kind of looks to the ground. She says, It was my fault. I should have got the mushroom wine, but we asked John to, because we all thought his name was so stupid. And she's really just, she seems very torn up about this. Like everybody else in the room, all of the other gnomes kind of like are unwilling to make eyes with anyone. Like you seem to think that they all have like a little bit of shame about this. Like maybe they always picked on John because he had such a weird exotic name that, you know, in gnome culture, not really a name. So they probably poked fun at him a lot more, even though he was probably a nice guy. He didn't deserve whatever it is that happened to him. That's for sure.
So he was just bringing wine from the kitchen to the cellar?
Yeah. I mean, we pressed the wine here. Dimble is over there on the press, and we get the mushrooms, and when we press all of the red mushrooms into oil for various things, and the purple ones go into the wine.
What's down this hallway? What's down that little hallway?
Oh, that's just the pantry. Now, if you need some of our mushroom bread, it's down there. Good stuff.
Is the wine cellar this way, or is it somewhere else?
I think
no, it's you have to go through. I thought you came from there.
Yeah, we've been to the wine cellar.
That is the wine cellar. Okay, never mind.
You guys cook for the kings, right?
Absolutely. It is a pleasure and an honor.
So, what did King Nerkly like to eat and drink the most?
I mean, what we all like to eat and drink the most. Mushrooms! And mushroom accoutrements! And mushroom drinks, and it's mostly the mushrooms that you passed by when you came in through the front entrance, of course.
Okay.
We make various things from our magical mushrooms that have been enhanced to grow larger than life and grow year round, rain, snow, or shine.
I was thinking maybe if the king was locked in his room that he might be hungry.
Oh, yes. I mean, he was given food every day. 3 meals per half day.
See, wow.
Just 3? Seems a little.
What about second breakfast?
I know.
Wrong thing.
I think that the king is in another
world.
I think the king is in another area of the Gnomengarde. I don't think the king is over in this area.
The king is.
Yeah, you're probably right. There was like some other doors that were unexplored all the way back. I was just beginning to think that like we've been moving forward and not retracing our steps like the mirror is telling us.
Ah, you found the mirror, huh?
You know this mirror?
No, I was just joking. Sorry. I shouldn't do that in character voice. You know us gnomes, we like to joke. What mirror did you find?
This mirror was in the king's wardrobe.
I was always told that a mirror can only show you your past. What's behind you. So it's just what my mom always said.
But if you're walking backwards, it's also what's in front of you.
You have a mirror that can show the future.
Yeah, right?
It is a magical mirror. I'm certain of it.
Certain.
That's how we say certain in Gnomengarde. Okay?
Certain.
Watch it.
Certainly.
Spangle Luxxi walked backwards out of the room.
The whole campaign walking backwards.
The gnomes, they kind of nod in agreement, like, oh yes, this is very wise. This high elf understands the ways of the gnome.
I walk down the hallway into the pantry.
Sure.
Yeah. And
as you get right where you are, stop.
Yeah.
Your senses are assaulted by the smell of mushroom bread. And before your eyes are the affront that is green, what looks like moldy bread, but it's actually just green mushroom bread.
as you smell it before you see it, and you just hope that you don't have to taste it before you leave it behind for good. It smells like something ripe and not enjoyable. An acquired taste for sure.
So I'm going to steel myself and go into the room.
All right, go for it.
Have fun.
I want a Constitution saving throw on the next step.
All right.
Your tummy does not feel good about this. It's not.
That's your tummy.
Your tum tum is not yum yum right now. It is like you can't. You're going through all the scents and smells that are in this room and sights, and it all just looks wrong to you. Like none of this checks. This does not track.
I start spinning and I like run up the hallway, and I kind of lose a little of my lunch on whoever is standing right here.
Come on.
Oh God!
Right, sorry, that
what is this?
That's between Clovis and Kair and anyone else. Just Kair. Sorry, Kair.
I'm just gonna run away like nothing happened.
All right, Kair, give me a dex saving throw and see if you avoid it.
Dodging this.
You're not dodging it. You're gonna wear it as a badge of honor then.
I'm certainly gonna try, but I don't think I'm gonna.
It's right on your shoes.
Should I acrobatics or dex?
Yeah, acrobatics is fine.
Yeah.
You deftly jump out of the way, and now there is a puddle of Clovis bile right in the space that you were standing in. So
it's a lot better coming up than it is smelling in.
Yeah, no, it's super gross.
Stay away from me.
I feel fine now. Now that we're away from it.
You should apologize.
You had green goo that you threw up.
Just gonna leave it there.
The mushroom bread smells great, guys.
Great work.
Joybell, you've outdone yourself on the mushroom bread.
Why, thank you. It's kind of my specialty, if you can call it that. I know that most outsiders do not like the mushroom bread. If you enjoyed that, you'll probably love mushroom wine. Would you like to try some?
I'm gonna try some.
To be honest, you don't get the full mushroom effect until you've had mushroom bread that's slightly toasted, dipped in mushroom oil, and then chased with a little bit of mushroom wine. Here, I'll fix you up a little plate right here.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, certainly.
Why are you doing this?
She runs over to create a little plate for you.
While she does that, I stealth out of the room, like past my other party members.
So mean.
The wifey vomit off your mouth.
She comes back. I've got this plate for you. It was mostly ready. So where? Up and down. Did you see where that nice little halfling went? No, I did not. He seemed to have run by and was quite frightened at the thought of eating anything that was mushroom based. How preposterous! Oh, certainly, says Terravaround. Terravaround is his name. It's a weird name, not like John. So she's kind of like, oh, maybe he'll be back, and she places the plate right over here, ready for you if you're coming back.
No, I'm leaving that room.
That's messed up. She was so happy.
Kind of like my character. I think we should go back to the.
All right, let's go back to that door.
Yeah.
Which door?
Talk about all the way across the other side.
Yeah.
We have to go back through the fans.
Oh, all the way back to like across the
Oh
bridge.
wow.
All right, so we're gonna walk back. We'll do the gobbledygook password, and then.
Sure.
I can mage hand the fans.
All right, you guys get yourselves over there, and I'll scroll over for the group to see. You could probably take a nice little like shortcut if you went through the. That's not important. You could be there soon. You probably just drag your guys over there, or does it not let you go through the
Does not let us go through the wall.
Once you get outside, you can jump across the bridge. All right, so I'm at the fans. Can we assume they're mage-handed, or we yell at our friend?
If he's still there.
Who is
Dibble-dab?
You just
say my name and I will happily turn it off.
Double dab?
Close,
Dabble dab.
but no.
Dabble dab, dabble dab.
Dabble dab.
Somebody was listening.
Dabble dab.
Happily, he
Dabble
runs
dab.
over and he turns off the fans. They slow down. They are not moving and they are stopped. You may move through. He says, I have just been waiting here this whole time.
Much appreciated.
It's very kind of you. Thank you.
I figured you'd need to come back, and I wasn't sure you'd understand how levers still worked.
Yeah, all right, I'm not doing this door. Someone else can do the door.
What? The
Dabble
door
dab.
next to?
You're a great guy.
Thank you. Yeah, I think you're pretty great yourself, Clovis.
Well, thanks.
I'll do the door.
Once everyone's here, I can knock on the door and but, once everyone gets here.
Take a lot
I
of.
think aren't we all here?
Yeah, I think we are now. Yeah, we're good. I see everybody.
Okay,
Spangles.
so let me
All right, then I'll knock.
slide you over here, and don't worry, we'll wrap things up in the next few minutes.
Yeah.
All right, select and move, and you guys open the door because doors are. Who's going in first?
I will.
How are you approaching the door?
I walked up to it and I knocked.
It is closed and it is locked.
Oh.
So do you want?
Did anyone answer when I knocked?
No. Dabble Dob says, "Oh, that is the treasury. If you'd like, I can. If you are thinking that maybe there's something in there of that can help with your search, I'm happy to offer you the keys. Please don't break that door down."
I don't think anything's gonna help us in there. We should probably double check on the king.
I mean,
No,
somebody might
definitely
hide
go
there.
in there. Absolutely, we need
No,
to
we
check
need
that
to check
room.
every room.
All right.
You might have gotten in there to hide.
So
Mhm.
he goes ahead and he throws the keys to you, and you can open the door.
I'll step in.
Just don't touch any of their money. We're already kind of messing with them too much today.
Yeah, don't say anything racist or touch their money.
Got to go.
It does seem like it's an absolute mess. There is just tons of gnomish gizmos and loose gears and twisted bits of metal, scrap metal and everything all strewn about. It is an absolute chaotic mess. And Dabbledob walks over and he says, "Oh yes, we recently cleaned up in here. It does look nice, doesn't it?"
It certainly does.
Everything's
Great job.
exactly where it needs to be.
Does it look like anyone's been in the room recently?
Other than the clean.
I haven't been in since it was cleaned, but I couldn't tell you.
I think one of some of the rangers should look around.
All right, I'll do a check for any evidence of the king in here. What do you want me to roll?
You can give me a perception check.
Perception.
No.
Nice. There you go.
Is it 15? So you do notice that there's not just clutter. There seems to be something over in the corner, over in this area,
There.
and it's under a big pile of junk. And it seems to, you're not standing in it. You're standing next to it, and it's like a shaking pile of like stuff.
Okay.
Shaking?
Yeah.
Shaking?
Like under a
Hello?
blanket,
There's
like under
something
a
in there?
blanket.
Hello.
But it's a pile.
Who
of
is
stuff.
there?
Nobody.
I'm gonna say there's something in there. Somebody's in there.
I think
No.
someone.
There's nobody in here. Go away.
King Nurkley, come on. King Nurkley, come out.
I said go away. Please go away. It's not any kings in here. Check the bedroom.
I'm gonna go over and start digging in into on all the stuff to try to uncover the little gnome.
I'm gonna guard the exit.
They should step on the opposite side of the door so no one can close it behind us.
You do indeed uncover a gnome that you recognize as that seems like he's rather kingly. You don't recognize him, but Dabbledob says, "King Nurkley! Oh, thank goodness these adventurers have found you. What have you been doing?" Been hiding. I've been telling you guys that there's a shapeshifter and it ate John. I don't know how else to say it. Has anybody been keeping an eye on my darling beloved Korbaz?
Nope.
What? How could you leave the other king alone? I was keeping him safe. What are you doing? Oh, goodness gracious. And he bursts.
Wait, wasn't there a gnome with him? I'm sorry. Wasn't there a couple gnomes like left?
He bursts past you and rushes in.
Nope.
Are you stopping him?
I'm going to ask him, where are you going?
Find my husband. And he pushes you.
Okay. And I politely follow closely.
And then he rushes straight to the bedroom, and there's nobody here. And you hear a scream, and he's like, "Where is my Korbaz?" And then he's frantically looking everywhere in the room, running around in the room, and checking everywhere, and he sees Corbin come into the room, and he's like, "Oh, I," and kind of gives you a side glance, and he goes in and he checks, he pushes aside the secret passage, and he's like, where I left him right here, oh goodness. And then he hears from the throne room, "Darling, I'm here in the throne room." And he walks through and he says, "Oh, you're alive, you're okay." And he takes his seat next to the other king, and they embrace, and they're very happy. He says, "Please, the next time you see somebody eaten, you do not glue me to a chair." And he says, "Okay, I can live with that." And King Nerkly says, "So did you find whatever it is that is causing all this turmoil in our wonderful little place?"
Not yet.
No, but King Nerkly, we do believe you, because we did see, unfortunately, some blood in the wine cellar.
In the wine cellar? Oh my. Well, I when I saw what I saw, it was not in the wine cellar, but does that mean that there's been a second murder in Gnomengarde?
King Nerkly, what have you seen?
What Joybell said that John didn't make it back from the wine cellar.
Oh, poor John. Such an unfortunate name. And an end to his life. Oh.
He might not be dead.
I don't
think we found a body yet.
I don't see why you guys. I don't see why you guys think that means that it's a shapeshifter.
Well, I can tell you that what happened was I was looking into a room and something changed from being a chair to consuming my friend and one of my subjects, and then went back to being a chair. I can only assume that is some form of a shapeshifter.
Where did that happen, King Nerkly?
It happened over towards the guards.
So you saw something change into a chair, and yet you glued your beloved husband onto a chair that may or may not have been a shape-shifting chair?
I tested it with a pole. There was... This was one of our fun sitting chairs.
Wait.
You're fun sitting chair.
Ooh.
King Korbaz, you and King Nerkly, I think you should ask each other questions that only you guys would know the answers to.
I would just ask them when
we have
they got
one.
married.
When they got married.
Them to answer at the same time.
Yeah, I know the answer. I have it here.
So do I.
When were you both married? What day?
The date that I told you before, because I don't have that particular thing written down.
Oh, I do.
Okay, then did they both say the right date?
Does it match our answer?
They said a date that matches the date that you said.
Okay, cool.
14th of Zabber Day.
Zabber Day. And I did it because I was supposed to be February 14th, and I was like, but I wrote it down, and I don't have the cards in front of me. I have all these cards and not the card. Oh, that's kind of cool, because some of them are green and they key out. Yes, the 14th of Zabber Day, in unison they proclaim. Okay. So they thank you. So yeah, you are convinced that these are indeed the two kings of Gnomengarde. And it sounds like there might be something that can mimic like the shape and look of everyday things out there. So with that, we will close it down for the evening. It is 10:35, and I kept you a little bit longer than I normally would, but I think it's a great stopping point, and I'm sure that we'll finish up with this mystery next Monday. So thanks for coming, and thanks for playing, and thanks for hanging around for those of you that were hanging around and watching the game. I'm sure I did lots of things wrong, but feel free to tell me in the stream chat, because I'll be hanging around and playing some Overwatch afterwards. So thanks, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put this on a break for a few minutes, and then debrief real quick with the party, and then hop on and play some Overwatch and hang out for a little bit.